NRA News Resources Anonymous, where nobody brings you the news like we do. Now stay tuned for the Agent Hound Report, followed by the Variety Menu moment. Nico Jenkins walks into the courtroom like a wounded soldier, certainly battle-weary, spending the last 4 years behind prison fighting a quadruple homicide that occurred in a 10-day span, losing the case, giving a death penalty issued by a 3-judge panel here in Lincoln, Nebraska. But what makes Nico Jenkins' case so unique is that prior to this case, he was given a 4-year prison term as a juvenile, first time that ever happened in Lincoln, Nebraska. Another first is them reinstituting the death penalty for specifically this case, a quadruple homicide that happened in a 10-day span. This is Deputy District Attorney Don Klein, and he explains the process as to why Nico Jenkins got the death penalty in the first place. Take a listen.
And like I said, that's part of this process that the court found that he deserved the maximum
Klein
punishment.
would also reiterate that the process also included his mental health evaluations, family history, drug usage, so on and so forth. Nico Jenkins never graduated high school. He was on the verge of getting his high school diploma in the prison when he served his last term for an attempted robbery. He was given 4 years for that particular offense, but you almost have to feel sorry for Nico Jenkins, not because he got the death penalty, but because he didn't seem to receive the adequate representation required, regardless of how heinous the crimes was. I mean, I never saw a lawyer present, and if they were present, they were definitely seated away from him. They almost treated him like a second-class citizen. Through sources closely related to the case, we can tell you that Nico Jenkins did not receive the proper representation required in a case like this. We can tell you that his lawyer, which was a state appointed out of Lincoln, Nebraska, very rarely showed up to interview Nico Jenkins. He would claim that the facility was always on lockdown and that he was just a hard man to reach. But in spite of all of that, you're talking about a capital murder case here where everything is key and you have to represent your client accordingly. Where are your ethics as a lawyer? I mean, you can't just push everyone aside, regardless of how heinous the crimes may have been. He may have even been innocent. Who's to say? Nico Jenkins allowed us to take a look at his psychiatric file, which he had possession of and mailed to us at the NRA studios. And what we discovered was that looking through it, the psychiatrist who conducted his initial evaluation concluded that Nico Jenkins was in fact very sane. He was not J category. He was sociable, could read. His literacy level was at 11.4, which is higher in most prisons, to be quite honest with you. His diagnosis came back 94%, meaning that his mental state and health state never looked at as a psych. Word around the courthouse is that Nico Jenkins' execution is going to be put through an expedited process, meaning that the appeals process isn't going to run its complete course. How can that be? We don't really know. We'll have to wait and see, actually. But word around here is that they're going to expedite Nico Jenkins' death penalty as another first, which would make 3. This is NRA News Resources Anonymous.